Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Firstly, I want to introduce myself. My name is Huda Dianto Rahman. I was born in Gresik and I'm studying in Islamic Majapahit University. Okay, today I want to share to you about my research proposal that is about the effect of writing future plan on public speaking skills. Case study of simple future tense material for SMA 1 Bangsal students. Okay, that is my name. Chapter 1, background study. Currently, many companies are asking millennials as job seekers to make proposal about what program will be carried out and present them. Whether the idea stated in the clause sounds interesting or not depends largely on how the speakers present it. So we need to make sure that every applicant who can present his idea well will be accepted. The more we practice, the better we will present our ideas in front of others. We will also be more confident because our ideas will be heard and accepted more often. One of the 6 skills that must be mastered is the public speaking skills. Public speaking is the ability to speak in front of many people by conveying a message that the audience can understand and believe. By Melina 2022. In this case study conducted by researcher conducted at SMA 1 Bangsal, especially in learning English, there were shortcomings by class X science students who will still embrace to come forward to the front of the class in expressing their ideas or ideas on a learning material. The second, problem statement. Some of the things listed in the description, the research series, namely how is the effect of writing future plan on public speaking skills at SMA 1 Bangsal on simple future tense material. Third, purpose study. To inform the effect of writing a future plan on public speaking skills at SMA 1 Bangsal on simple future tense material. And 1.4 is benefit study. Based on the research objective above, the result of this study are expected to provide benefit both theoretically and practically for all parties who are related to this research, namely as follows. 1. Theoretical. Through this research, it is hoped that it can provide benefit for the development of educational science so that the problems of students who are embraced to express their opinions can be resolved by one of them developing writing their future plans. The second, practical. The result of this study can be used as input in solving practical problems in the evaluation, especially the student section to be one of the solution in learning. Okay, chapter 2. Theoretical foundation. There is motivation. The root of the term motivation is motive means effort that inspires someone to do something. Therefore, motivation can be considered as an impetus to take action within each of us is a source of intrinsic motivation. ISAN 2016, the definition of motivation is a shift in inner or personal energy that results in the emergence of sentiment and behaviors that drive individual toward their goals. The individual level of motivation increase in relation to the realization that progress toward particular goal will be rewarded by satisfaction on that goal and this increase in energy is known as motivation. To be successful in the learning process, one must be intrinsically motivation to do so. Whether a person tries hard to learn or not depend on their level of motivation. Jamara 2008 identified three reasons why people are motivated. One, motivation as a drive of action. Motivation serves as driving force to influence what attitude students should take in order to learn. Second, motivation as a drive of action. Psychological impulse that give birth to attitude towards students are an unstoppable force, which is then incarnated in the form of psychological movement. And third, selection action, namely determining what action must be done that are harmonious in order to achieve goals by setting aside goals that are not useful for the school. Chapter 2, Theoretical Foundation, Public Speaking. Public speaking is a continuous communication process where message symbol or communication and meaning are constantly interaction between speakers and listeners. Public speaking ability is a skill in the form of master of public speaking, which is obtained from the result of practice and is used to communicate with other people, group, or society. Some indicators of public speaking ability include: one, ability to make presentation. Second, use of gesture or gestures. Third, concentrating ability. Four, overcome nervousness and stage fright. Five, have experience. And six, alert tracer. And then seven, ability to control emotion or actually panic and fear. Writing skills. Writing is lowering or painting graphic symbols that describe a language that is understood by someone so that other people can read the graphic symbol is they understand the language and graphic description by Tarigan 2008-21. From some of the opinion above, it can be concluded that writing is a person's activity in expressing ideas or through writing. The thought can be in the form of opinions, knowledge, experience, desires, of feelings of a person. Writing is not only expression ideas through written language media, but also considering the writing so that it can be understood by the reader. Conceptual. The framework of thought is the result of thinking by researcher and can be developed again to be broadened. This framework can also be used as a basis for answering various questions and proving the accuracy of the researcher from the theoretical basis that has been strengthened by the result of previous studies. Chapter 3, Research Methodology. Research design. There is 4 research design. The first is type of research. Type of research. This type of research use quantitative research. Quantitative research method, according to Sugiono, 2019-34, based on positivism. The research approach involves looking at the population or sample, collecting data with research tool, and analyzing quantitative or statistical data to see if the hypothesis holds. Second, research approach. This research uses the type of file of research and the approach to be used in this research. namely using an associative quantitative approach, namely research to describe and calculate the Kaizen culture variable and reward as an independent variable and employee performance as the dependent variable. Third, population. The definition of population according to Sugiono 2019, 100 to 126 is a generalization area or a group consisting of object or subject that have certain qualities and characteristics determined by a researcher to be studied and then drawn conclusion. And then sample. Sampling is a process of selecting a number of elements from the population, making research on the sample and understanding about these properties or characteristics will be used to make use able to generalize the trait or character in the population element. Data collection techniques. Point A, observation. At this stage, it will be different from the previous sequence, which is not limited to the subject, namely people to get the data. At the observation state, the research will be able to explore in many aspects, include adding to literacy, which according to the research has relevance to Sugiono's research 2019 203. Interview are data collection conducted through direct interviews or direct question to parties deemed necessary and relate to the object of research, namely the consumers who provide information to researchers about the things they need. Information is obtained directly from the person being surveyed or the person being surveyed through face-to-face and conversation. Interviews are used as a data collection techniques. If researcher want to conduct a preliminary study to find phenomena or problem that must be investigated, and if researcher want to know in-depth things that can be obtained from respondent and the numbers of respondent is small or small by Sugiono 2019 195. Questionnaire. According to Sugiono 2019 199, questionnaire is a data collection is carried out by giving a set of question or wording statement to respondent to answer. Statements that have been prepared by the researcher in writing by distributing several questionnaires and accompanied by alternative answer that will be given to respondent. The questionnaire is an efficient the questionnaire is an efficient collection technique is if the researcher know with certainty the variables to be measured and know what can be expected from the respondent. The purpose of using a questionnaire is to obtain an objective answer by the respondent, which reflect the attitude of the respondent, which is actually a research question. Instrument test. Point A, validity. Validity is a measure that shows the degree of accuracy between the actual data that occurs to the object and the data that has been collected by researcher. To find the validity of an item, researcher correlated item score with the total of this item. The validity test was conducted to determine the extent to which the questionnaire submit collected the required data or information. According to Sugiono 2019 267, validity is the degree of determining determination between data that occur in the object of research and data that can be reported by researchers. Based on the data from the result of the questionnaire, distribute distributes distribute to the respondent. Further testing of the instrument is carried out to measure the level of goodness of the instrument. The level of goodness of the instrument. So that validity and reliability analysis can be carried out. A, valid if the calculate R value, R table value with a significant level A equal 5%. B, not valid if the calculate R value, R table value with a significant level A equal 5%. B, reliability test. Reliability is carried out to find out to what extent the questionnaire submitted and carried out can provide results that are not different if remeasurement is carried out of the same object at different times. According to Sugiono 2019, 121, the reliability test is used to determine the degree of consistency of a measuring instrument. A reliable instrument is an instrument which, when used several times to measure the same object, will produce the same data. The definition of reliability is basically the extent to which the measurement result can be trusted. And if the measurement results are relatively the same, then the measurement is considered to have a good level of reliability. An instrument is said to be reliable to come back. Alpha is greater than 0.60. In this study, the reliability test was carried out by looking at the Cronbach alpha coefficient. Okay, maybe I think enough for my presentation about my proposal research. Maybe I am doing many mistakes. I'm so sorry, and thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.